Hey, FBC family, we hope that you are safe and that you are well. You know, by now you have probably heard or seen Governor Ducey give his executive order earlier this week, placing limitations on many things in our community. One of those restrictions was to limit public gatherings to 50 or less. As you recall, this was similar to the executive order he issued back in April. Now, churches are considered essential services, and this technically doesn't apply to us. However, through this entire COVID-19 pandemic, we have been striving to listen well to health professionals, to plug in and dialogue with other church leaders and pastors, and most importantly, to really sit and pray and ask God to give us clarity, wisdom, and discernment as we try to navigate through this challenging and changing time. And in light of recent events and out of deep concern for our first responders and our frontline medical workers, for our community, as well as our FBC family, the elders have made the difficult decision to suspend all on-campus and in-person services and gatherings on our campus through the month of July. We are aware that cases have increased, and at least one person in our congregation who attended services on June 21st has recently tested positive. We have acted prudently to inform anyone who might have been in close contact with this individual, and we do not believe that there was any widespread contact. However, this incident, in light of and in addition to everything that I've mentioned above, has led us to believe that suspending all in-person gatherings, including Sunday mornings, and all on-campus activities is a wise and loving thing to do. Here's some good news. We will continue to live stream our gatherings each Sunday. We'll live stream at both 9 o'clock and at 10:45. More information will be forthcoming. Family, I know how difficult this season has been for all of us. We long to see you face to face. I long to hear your voices singing. I long to worship alongside of you. But I want to remind us and to encourage us that in the midst of this time that we would not live in fear. We must keep our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. And in this challenging and changing time, we remain confident in knowing that Jesus never changes. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is our hope, He is our shield, and we have to look to Him. Family, can I ask you to do 3 things with me? Number 1, pray for one another. Pray for one another. You know, this is a challenging time, and so many of us are feeling disconnected. We're feeling isolated. We're hurting at a very deep level in so many ways. We know that we're not created and designed to be apart from one another. And so we need to pray for one another. And as you think of others this week, would you pick up your phone, give them a phone call, give them a text message, and just let them know that you're thinking of them. Maybe you can pray with them, or maybe it just involves you just having a listening ear. But be there for one another. And secondly, will you pray for the elders, the pastors, and the staff here at FBC? We have never led in a time like this. I was just joking with some of our leaders that seminary and all my years of ministry experience never once prepared me on how to lead a church family during a pandemic. Pray that we would continue to seek the Lord's wisdom, that He would give us clarity and courage and direction as we learn how to best shape you and equip you for the work of ministry in this time. And then last, family, don't give up. Do not give up. The writer to the Hebrews wrote this in Hebrews 10, verses 23 and 25. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. Family, hold fast to the hope that we profess. That hope is Jesus Christ, our refuge, the unchanging one, the King of all the world. This pandemic does not take him by surprise, and he is present and he will remain present with him. Hold fast to that hope that we profess in both word and deed. Family, also, don't give up encouraging one another. Like I mentioned earlier, pray for one another, encourage one another. And last, don't give up meeting together. Well, that's a little difficult right now, right? Obviously, we know that meeting here in this text in Hebrews is the idea of the church family coming together in person to worship God. But right now, we find ourselves in a time where it's radically different. And this is the time we have. And let us be faithful to not give up meeting together. It might look like a Zoom call. It might be a phone call. It might be meeting each other, social distancing at the park. I'm not sure, but don't give up meeting together and encourage one another, especially as we see the day approaching. Because there is a day when the Lord Jesus Christ, the King of all creation, will come again and he will make all things new. We long for that day and we long to see you. Family, we're praying for you and we love you.